Hey everybody, I want to thank you for considering taking this course on OSHA's 1926 Subpart P standard regarding trenching, excavation, and soil mechanics. I want to invite you to take advantage of this limited time offer. The course is being offered for $10 only. Regular price is $20, which is not that bad either. It's pretty convenient. You can take it in the office, at a computer, you can take it on your smartphone, there at the palm of your hand, sitting in the cab of the truck, or at lunch, and you'll get an instant wallet card or diploma emailed directly to you. You can use this course however you want. Check out some of the content that we have coming up next, and hope to see you in the lectures. Take care. Hey, good day everybody. In this course, you're not only going to be trained in OSHA's trenching and excavation standard as you see there on the screen, but we're going to teach you and we're going to enable you to be a well-rounded and efficient health and safety operator. Yes, our focus is going to be on that standard right there, but your takeaway is that you will be a well-rounded safety operator that your company will look to. You'll be able to put yourself in a positive light by saving them injuries, saving them lives, and saving them money. We all have families, and the physical effects of accidents inhibit us from doing our duty and providing for our families. There's also those psychological effects. You have a family that is depending on you to provide, and not only is that inhibited due to an injury, now think about the psychological effect of your spouse or your child when they see you injured. What kind of effect is that going to have on you when you cannot participate in your family activities or your day-to-day stuff? That brings you down. So there's effects on the family resulting from these accidents. There's also effects on other workers. Effects on you, regardless of whether or not you're the injured worker. Imagine if you were perfectly fine, but you witnessed an accident. You witnessed a trench cave-in. And guess what? The next day or the day after they clear the area, the job's got to keep going. And now you're being asked to get into the same trench that somebody had to get pulled out of, deceased or alive. That would weigh on you. And now you know that you have to get in there at the cost of your job if you don't. Let's just avoid these negative effects. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of each other. I want to thank you for enrolling in this course. I look forward to seeing you in the lectures, and I promise it's going to be an eye-opening experience for you, and I'll see you there. Take care. God bless. This is what you'll get out of this course. Not only OSHA's 1926 Subpart P standard on trenching, excavation, and soil mechanics, but you will have full access to this course to use it how you see fit. Conduct field trainings or conference room safety training meetings. But it's yours. Put your name on it. Present it to your supervisors and give them a reason to move you up. Download it and use it how you see fit. Let's not just meet the standard and do the bare minimum. Let's exceed it. Let's be the best. Use it to develop safety practices where you work. Use this course so that you can shine. Take it and use it to conduct trainings on the back of a tailgate like you see there. Use this course in conjunction with the job site and perform soil sampling tests like the gentleman on the bottom right. This course will ensure that you remain compliant in this OSHA standard. But in addition to that, I'm going to give you several general safety practices to make you a well-rounded safety operator. With this course, you will impress your friends, your colleagues. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody, wherever you're at in the world. I want to thank you for sticking with me thus far. We're only in the beginning. We got some ways to go, but I'm grateful for your presence anyway. So, soil and trenching excavation operations. The standard is 29 CFR 1926 Subpart P. That's OSHA's 29th Code of Federal Regulations 1926, which is the construction industry Subpart P. Trenches, excavations, holes in the ground, they are everywhere, and they are dangerous. They are so part of our lives, even as a non-construction worker, even as just somebody who's, out and about in their daily lives. We're always coming in contact with, construction sites. And on these construction sites, there are encumbrances and holes and trenches as common as the air we breathe. And because we're always around them, we just accept them, or we overlook them, or they just become as everyday life as the air we breathe. Well, tell you what, complacency kills. You get used to it, and at first you might see it, and like a snake, you see that that snake is dangerous and they can kill you. But if you're on that snake every day, 8, 12, 16 hours a day, after a while you don't care about it. Well, guess what? It could still bite you. Same thing goes for a trench. It's there and it can kill you. Digging a hole seems simple, but it is not. Right? There's gas lines, there could be water, there could be pollution. People can fall in, people can get trapped, and most dangerously, there are cave-ins. There are over 100 deaths per year and 1,000 injuries per year. And 3 cubic feet of dirt from any part of the walls of that trench weighs as much as a small car. So even if half of your body was outside the trench, even if you're in a trench that's only 3 feet deep, that doesn't require any trench protection or a ladder because it's only 3 feet deep. If that trench were to cave in, 3 cubic feet of dirt, that's a car falling onto your legs. All right? How well do you think you're going to walk away from a trench cave in if the trench is only 3 feet deep, yet it weighs about as much as of a car falling on you? I tell you what, you're probably not going to. Look, I'm going to say this right now. Check your pride at the door. On construction sites and oil rigs, men and women all have their pride. Part of them does not want to look weak by addressing a safety issue. Well, how weak are you going to look when you're laid up in the hospital? How weak are you going to look when you see your friends, children, without their mother or father? But you could have said something and didn't. Look, it's a law. Proper excavation and trenching techniques and OSHA rules gotta be a part of your job site. They have to be. Not just for your benefit, not just for the benefit of the people around you, but for your kids' benefit as well. Right? After a while, the whole pride thing wears off, and people get used to it. Right? And now safety is a part of your life. Not the poisonous snake that's the trench, but the prevention to keep you from getting bit by it is now part of your life. Start watching your buddies back. Okay, whether they're willing to admit it or not, they will appreciate it. Whether their family knows about it or not, they will appreciate it. And by you watching their back, they'll start watching your back. Now you got somebody who's watching your back. Never dig until you know that it's safe. So everybody, outlining this course, we're going to talk about the aspects and characteristics of excavation and trenching. I'm going to talk about the OSHA requirements to include reviewing the OSHA guidelines prior to every dig. And I know people, and I know from being on job sites that when it comes to hey, let's all gather around and talk about safety, a lot of people will roll their eyes at that. But remember what I said in the previous lecture. We all have families that count on us. All right? We all have jobs, and we all have paychecks that our families depend on. So let's do the right thing. We're going to talk about the responsibilities that your employers have to you and your team as far as keeping you safe. And again, there's a pride issue here. Nobody wants to go to their employer and talk about safety issues. Okay, well, that could be understandable to a certain extent from the employer's viewpoint. Nobody likes a tattletale, or nobody likes, the good idea fairy. However, if you come with a solution, that's a totally different ballgame. You're not just pointing a finger. You're providing a solution that's going to save your company money. Let them know that. That's why I've given you this course. That's why you can download it. Take the PowerPoint slides. Go to your management and say, hey, look, I just want to pass this off on to you because there's a couple of issues, and I know if you just get this out there in the field, things will be a little bit better. And then you offer to disseminate it in the field for them. And then before you know it, they just may make you the safety guy. And guess what? If they're going to make you the safety guy, that should come with a little more money in that paycheck. Also in this course, we're going to talk about the definitions and differences between an excavation and a trench, and how to identify them. We're going to talk about hazards such as cave-ins. We're going to talk about how to work safely in and around trenches through, once again, proper planning. In the military, we have a saying: your failure to plan results in a plan to fail. Okay? When it comes to working down in a hole in the earth, we do not want that plan to fail. Okay? So we're going to talk about proper planning. We're going to talk about how to test the soil. Without any fancy equipment, just by using your eyes and using your hands and what you know, we're going to talk about how to test the soil so you can apply the proper safety measures. We're going to talk about mobile equipment operating near and around the trench. What to do if there's an old power line or there's an old sewer line. We're going to talk about what to do before you dig. We're also going to talk about how you can be the competent person, who the competent person is supposed to be, or how to identify. Glad you're back. So check it out. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a job site inspection. And I'm placing it at this point in the course as opposed to the end in order to get those cognitive juices flowing. And also we can take what we learned from this little inspection and apply it to the content that we see later on. With that said, I address this as well here in a second, but part of being a good leader is not just identifying the room for improvement, but identifying the positives also. So when we offer constructive criticism, we also offer what is being done right. So put yourself in these shoes. If somebody were to come up to you and just be like, hey man, you need to do this, you need to do that, and you need to correct that and do better over there, and then walk away, you'd be like, whatever. And then safety begins to degrade at that point because of the attitude that somebody came at you with, and now the attitude that we have because that person came at me with that attitude. But if I came at you with, and I said, hey man, you're doing a really good job, I liked what you did over there, can we also possibly do this over here? And you can apply whatever safety mechanism you want there. You would be more inclined to accommodate. I would. And because of that, the safety environment on the job site is way better. So, just something to think about. Let's do the inspection. Okay everybody, let's check it out. And before we do, whenever we offer somebody our constructive criticism or our opinion, part of being a good leader or part of being somebody who eventually wants to be a good leader is to also highlight the positives of the situation. So we offer our ideas for improvement, and then we also offer what is going on that's right and that's exceptional. Let's check it out. Here we have a job site. Take a second and look at it and identify all the safety hazards. Yes, let's identify hazards regarding trenching and excavation, but let's see what else could use some improvement. Alright, now that we've done that, next slide, let's see some improvements. So, what I have identified is those spoils there on the left look like they're kind of falling into the trench. I wouldn't want to be in that trench, and I wouldn't want you to be in that trench if all that dirt's falling on your head. Okay, we kind of also see a dust hazard. A lot of dust there in the environment. Just imagine breathing in that dust, and all that dust particles are sticking to the inside of your lungs. And this is a utility line, possibly a sewer line. What is in those dust particles? There could be chemicals. There could be fecal matter. Who knows? And now you're breathing that in and it's sticking to the inside of your lungs and you're going to carry that with you everywhere. Give that guy a dust mask. Okay guys, remember, we want to take care of ourselves, but we need to also take care of each other. So, take a second. What did I miss? Alright, if I've missed something, please let me know in the comments. Now remember, we want to highlight the good things as well. That ladder extends 3 feet or more above the trench opening. That looks like a pretty deep trench.